Hello, everybody. My name is Kevin Nix, and welcome back to NASCAR Mailbox. This past weekend at the Chicago Street Course was the SVG show. Shane Van Gisbergen won the Xfinity race on Saturday and the Cup race on Sunday, both times in fairly convincing fashion. I would say more so Cup than Xfinity, but he also won the pole for both races as well. So this was the weekend of SVG, but he was not the only driver in the Cup race who I felt had a strong chance to win. And that is a good pivot to this question for this week. It is from Matt underscore 8000, and it is about someone who could have had a chance to win, Michael McDowell. If McDowell didn't have his issues, do you think he would have contended with SVG? I think he would have. McDowell led the opening stint of the race. For those of you who do not know, he led the opening stint, but had throttle problems early on, forced him to go to the garage to get it fixed. He eventually came back out, but was well off the lead lap and out of contention for a meaningful finish. After he went to the garage, it was all SVG. No one else really had anything for him. It would have been interesting to see if if the race was a few laps longer, if Tyler Reddick would have gotten to him. Reddick was on fresher tires near the end in the last run, and I think he just ran out of time. Plus the Cody Ware caution, which obviously is an entirely different conversation, but the Cody Ware caution at the end did not help matters for him either. But on equal ground, on equal tires, McDowell and SVG were essentially 1A and 1B. On the initial start and the first restart after Hocevar's big wreck, McDowell actually got the better of SVG going into turn one. That's some we saw so many times in the Xfinity race. SVG, he would he would be a car length ahead of the field by the time they got to the start finish line, and he won the battle every single time going into turn one, and he was just unstoppable after that in Xfinity. McDowell was that way in the first couple runs in Cup, and he is a really good road racer as well. Obviously, SVG is a tremendous road racer, but I think the 71 had the second best car. I don't know if he had the best car, but we know how hard McDowell is to pass, especially for the lead. We've seen it many times. We've seen it at super speedways. We saw it at Texas earlier this year that he was giving Logano fits before the 22 car finally got by him. So McDowell absolutely would have given SVG a run for his money for this win. I can't say for sure that he would have won, but he was the only other person in SVG's stratosphere on equal strategy, on equal footing. I do think as the run would have progressed, the 71 would have lost ground just because SVG is so good at preserving his rear tires throughout the run. Better than anyone else in road courses, in my opinion, even Allmendinger. It would have been much closer. Like I said, it would have been 1A and 1B. Sure, Ty Gibbs was pretty fast. Tyler Reddick was pretty fast as well. But the 71 was the only other car who had something for the Kiwi from the land down under. And he said after the race as well, McDowell talked to Frontstretch, and he said that he would have won the race had he not had that problem. So McDowell was very happy with his car. He was very confident in his ability as well. And obviously SVG is an aggressive driver also, but McDowell would have been very hard to pass by the 88, and that would have been a great battle, especially as the race went on. It would have been really cool to see their strategy. It would have been really cool to see, especially during that last run, if it played out similarly, that who would have had the advantage at the end. Because if McDowell was still in the running, it would have been a coin toss, in my opinion. I can't say for sure that he would have won, but he absolutely would have contended, more so than any other driver did. Because once McDowell fell out of contention, it was the SVG show. No one else really had anything for him at all. It was a very well-deserved win by the 88, but it is unfortunate that the throttle problem prevented us from seeing what would have been a pretty sweet battle as the day progressed. So I absolutely think McDowell would have fought hard for the win. I don't know if he would have won, but he's the only driver who could have beaten SVG on pure speed in racecraft. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of NASCAR Mailbox. My name is Kevin Nix, and the field is headed to wine country in Sonoma, California. The Cup Series and the Xfinity Series will be racing at Sonoma Raceway this weekend, so 2 road courses in a row. Will be very interesting to see if SVG can go 2 in a row as well. I hope everyone enjoys the racing this weekend. Bye bye.
Jared Haas with Frontstretch.com. Come back more for some great racing video content. And if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.